All right, welcome back to this new rigging season, WallEyeWorkshop.com. This is a Minn Kota Talon shallow water anchor on a walleye boat. Yeah, on a walleye boat. Installation is fairly simple. We're going to take you through all the steps we went through to get to this point. The hardest thing is lifting the big 300, and we do that over at Mike's barn. I'll show you that right now. What we got to do is we got to pull the big motor off, get this bracket between the motor and the boat, along with the spacer for the starboard side. So we're going to go ahead and pull that motor off for you. We're doing this in Mike's garage because he's got the hoist. Normally you're going to have your dealer take care of this. All right, we got the bolts removed from the motor. What we need to do though is, from the factory they did all the silicone. We want to make sure we got a nice smooth surface where we're putting this mounting plate for the Talon. So I'm going to just go clean up that silicone and make sure she's nice and smooth. All right, when you get these spacers in here, they can be put in upside down. So you want to make sure that you have those in right. The bracket for the Talon, there's kind of no mistaking on that. It's made for the port side, but these can be flipped upside down. You'll end up sticking all the way up the top. You don't want that. All right, we're back from Mike's garage installing this bracket under the motor. This is a sandwich style bracket. Minn Kota has several different styles of brackets you can mount to your boat. You just need to go to their website and see what's best for your particular boat, whether you got a jack plate or standard transfer, whatever. But anyways, this is the mount. This is the standard mount that comes with the Talon. And all that does is you take 4 screws and bolt it right in place right here like that. And we'll show you that in a minute. All right, the 2 standard items that come with the Minn Kota Talon here is the mounting bracket, which is normal lock nuts on it, the Talon itself, and the cable. The options we're going to use are the quick release handles that you can install in place of these nuts. So I'm not going to be using this Talon 100% like a bass fisherman would, so a lot of our trolling bites I'll be removing. These handles will make that easy. And also, the second option is the quick connector plug, which I previously installed off camera here. But all that cord does is just unscrew and come apart, so you can remove the Talon and tuck this cord up out of the way of the boat, and then the Talon is removed from the boat. So with that, next thing we're going to do is we'll show you how to mount this, and then we'll show you how to mount the Talon itself. All right, I left the bolts just a little loose so I can square it up. So this bracket is even with the top of that bracket. So we're nice and square. Then we'll go ahead and tighten it up, and then we'll put our quick release handles on. The quick release bracket basically just replaces the nut that's already on the bracket itself. What we gotta do is, I can't do it with my left hand, I gotta do it with my right hand. All it does is replace that. Leave it a little loose, because if it's tight, we won't get that Talon on there. All right, now we're ready to slide the Talon onto the bracket, and inside of the bracket are the bracket sliding straps. And they slide right down through the channel here. And this is actually a stop nut to keep this thing from falling all the way through to the floor. And that's actually what sets your height above the bottom of the boat. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and slide this baby on. One side started, and get the other side in, and it goes all the way to the stop nut. All right, we've got the Talon in place. What is recommended is that the Talon, the bottom of the Talon, be approximately 4 inches above the bottom of the boat. And right now the boat is 27 inches, the Talon is about 28. So we're gonna go ahead and raise or lower the stop nut. We kind of just guessed on that stop nut location. We're gonna lower that stop nut about 3 inches, lift this up, tighten it up, and that motor's gonna be right exactly where we need it. Every time I take it off, I can put it back on. I won't have to measure it again because of that stop. All right, everything's in place. All we gotta do is tighten the handles up, and the handles are kind of nice because they do kind of disengage from the nut, so I can kind of adjust them and just kind of get them out of the way. All right, the only thing left is to run the power cord to the battery. We got a fused positive wire and we got the negative wire. This green wire you can run to the ignition switch. That way if your Talon is deployed, as soon as you turn your key, an alarm will sound and let you know that your Talon's deployed. So all we got to do now is feed it down through the boot, go to the battery, the ignition switch. Once we're hooked up to the battery, we can plug her in with the optional connector we showed you earlier, and she's ready to test. All right, one last little piece here that we got to put on the bracket. This is nothing but a little water shield. When you take off, this talon's probably going to drag in water and shoot up, and this will keep the water from shooting all the way up through the bracket. All right, that's it. I have it all wired up. The Minn Kota Talon is actually incredibly simple to install, with the exception of having to lift your motor to put the sandwich bracket on. Most of you guys will have to have your dealer take care of that for you. But as far as wiring goes, very simple. Installing the brackets, very simple. This thing's wired up, it's hot, it's ready to operate. It comes with 2 remotes. To get it to deploy, you gotta double click it. And the reason for the double click is so you don't inadvertently hit that button at 60 miles an hour and deploy that thing. So here we go, double click. Watch your feet, single click to come up. And that's it. That installation is done. We got a few more nice new toys to put on the boats this year, so stay tuned. Next week we'll have that for you. Thanks for watching.